Rodolfo right away. People run away screaming. The man then leaves the gun on the counter along with the hat surrounded by blood, closing the counter curtain. Tim Boyle from Daily News arrives at the scene where Detective Richie is investigating already. He starts asking about what happened. Boyle tries so hard to convince the detective to say something he can work to since it is his first day as a reporter. Boyle then is with the company of Haggerty and Dillon. They take Boyle to the uptown, which is the room of the assailant, for they are taking a look for clues in it. They bring a head from Perp's apartment to Professor Brooks. When the professor checks it, he then realizes that it is the head of the missing Primavera from Santa Trinita, which is 450 years old, a spring old too. That this is missing ever since the Nazis blew up the bridge in 1944. Marblehead murderer is written in the headline of the newspaper, which is placed in front the door of this Italian boy. On the other side, Boyle is in the jail visiting Hector Negron, the assailant. Boyle asking him why he did such a thing, enumerating the benefits he can get only after just a few months. Boyle keeps saying to Hector to eat since it has been 2 days of him without eating. Back to the Italian man, named Enrico, who is reading the newspaper, is interrupted by her lover to make a carousel activity, causing the newspaper to be thrown outside and drops to the front of an Italian having coffee. When the man sees the headline, he is in shock, causing him to panic and run right away. On the contrary, Negron is confessing something about what he knows, and it is the man who is sleeping saying and that he knows who that is. Flashing back in the year 1944, during the fall campaign in Sercho River, Tuscany, Italy, army in green silently walks when this man shouts to kill him as he is having a nervous breakdown. While on the move, a Nazi shortwave call service happens, the girl speaking that they have waited for them. She says that the German Wehrmacht is digging bunkers for 6 months in the Gothic line, which their white commanders won't let them know. The lady keeps distracting the Negro army, saying that they are not against them, unlike their commanders who will let them die. They should save themselves because they should not save the nation that treats them as slaves. The Germans who are listening are getting annoyed at the lady speaking, talking about how they should only use one gun. White army men are now the move in their position. Axis Sally still speaking when a man from the Negro receives a shot. Rapid gunfire happens, reducing them, causing them to back down. The German then attacks and blows the Negro armies. All of them have no escape. They are all being attacked with one shot and one kill. 2 among these green soldiers are able to escape. Then they see a haystack moving, which is a boy searching for Arturo. The boy inside is pinned down and Train rescues the boy with him as soon as he takes down one German man. Another missile is blown by but drops into an electricity post, causing it to light the bulb in a nearby area. Train carrying the child is seen by his co-soldiers, requesting him to go get close to them. Then they gave the child first aid since Train is insisting to take good care of him. Train thinks that this boy is in heaven, sent by God. In Calicano, Tuscany, Italy, where the 92nd Infantry Division headquarters is at, the colonel approaches General Almond with a salute. He is about to show a picture to the general, but the general asks about how bad the numbers from yesterday's collision were. General is expressing his frustration with the bad situation, scolding and reminding the colonel that he only hears one gun despite having other guns in the side pockets. Another soldier reports that there are still 4 alive Negros who strayed up the mountain. They also have their weapons and radio. The soldier also assures that it will not hard to find them because one of them is the biggest Negro he have seen in his life. 4 the soldiers walking along with the child traveling the mountain road on their move. When the night came in the church, the German took the pig and horses from it to have some food. The people inside the church cannot do anything about it, so they just let them take it. The house beside the church receives a knock from a door, and when they open it, a gun is being aimed at them. After a short discussion and questioning between one another to confirm such identities, Staff Sergeant Aubrey Stamps asks help from them because a boy they bring really needs help and be medicated. They lay the boy on the table and they decide to take good care of the boy until he gets better. Renata also warns these 4 Negro soldiers that Germans are all around the corner. She then tells a story about the legend of the sleeping man. The only way they can take is the mountain of the sleeping man, for it is about a shepherd who fell in love with a girl who would not love him back. So the man lays his back to protect the girl from the wind and rain, and that up until now it protects every one of them, and that legend says that one day he will be awakened. When the morning came, the Germans were on patrol and a bunch of armies were on their move in the 65th Infantry Division Deutsche Wehrmacht headquarters. The colonel confronts one of his co-workers who is wasting his time reading a poem in the middle of the war happening. He then orders to look for a peasant terrorist with the name the Great Butterfly, which is causing them many problems. He is hiding around the mountains, according to the colonel. They have a missing corporal from the 35th Regiment 2nd Battalion, 5th Company, who is Hans Brandt, which is now already 3 weeks AWOL. They send a squad to search for them. In the mountain, the terrorist which is being searched sees his friend. On the other side is the scenery where the boy is being taken care of by an Italian family. The child suddenly speaks, which scares them, but the soldiers arrive, making the boy drink his medicine and making him sip a soup. They plan to make a move and that Renata will lead them to the way. While inside the house is Train with the boy having a conversation saying that the head brings miracles. The boy then makes Train turn his head to make him the day of his birthday, causing him to be energized. When the night came, they are preparing the things they need when the boy approaches and talks with the soldier Negro. The child touches the rosary around his neck and then asks his friend Arturo to help them, and right then and there the radio is fixed right away. They now are able to contact their co-soldiers in the radio telephone talking about their whereabouts. The next morning Train teaches the child with some gestures so that they can talk to each other. The child learns it right away. There is a party going on and people are dancing. Furthermore, Sarge interacts with Italianos along with their prisoner. They are battling who will take the German prisoner, aiming their guns to one another. The prisoners talk to the boy trying to brainwash him, but Train gets him away quickly. Hector tries to talk with the boy, asks his name, answering that he is Angelo Toroncelli from Street Anna di Stasima. Talking about the German who tries to brainwash him, Angelo says that he is being said to run away again. The partisan looks up in the mountain and see a marching soldier men, but he did not tell it to Renata and the Negros but rather tell that it is safe. All of them then started praying. Bishop and Train are talking about their distinct beliefs in God when Renata approaches Bishop, and after a moment they go to a place and start doing carousel activity. On the side, Pepe is confessing that they surprised a German patrol. He also tells a story that a partisan helps them survive, namely Pasei, delivering them food. She is the one who tells the story of what happened at Street Anna di Stasima. Telling a backstory of what happened in the Street Anna di Stasima on the 12th of August 1944. Italians gathered all the people asking where Butterfly was, yet they didn't know where, causing them to be taken down by endless rattle bullets by the Germans. In the story of Butterfly, Rodolfo is the traitor, which makes the assumption of Hector true. Rodolfo and Hector are with their German prisoner when Rodolfo betrays him to kill the German and scratch the face of Hector. Pepe confronts Rodolfo with his betrayal in the Street Anna church and that Pepe knows, but before the conversation ends Rodolfo shoots Pepe in his chest. Hector hurriedly goes back to approach his other soldiers, reporting what the bastard Italian has done to the German and his co-Italian partisan. However, a fuss between Stamps and Bishop arises when Stamps sees Renata coming out from the door carrying the gun of Bishop right after he goes out of the house. Noakes arrive at their area, confronts with Stamps and the other Negros, fight about the child. Train choking birdsong after having an argument with Noakes. When they are about to go, the Germans attack them. Endless shooting of rattles of bullets happens. The child receives a shot as well as Train. Bishop tries to escape with the kid along the head sculpture from Train but fails to do so because he receives multiple shots also. Every Italianos in that moment is killed. Renata along with his father tries to escape but they are blocked by the Germans, so then they receive a shot. Stamps trying to protect them fails to do so too, causing him to be shot also, leading them all to death. Hector is the only one left fighting, while on the other hand the soul of Arturo approaches Angelo, causing him to be alive. Then Arturo gave the head sculpture to Hector in exchange for his rosary. The German still walks in front of Hector aiming a gun, but the colonel stops it and gives Hector a gun, saying to defend himself. After that, the American soldiers fetch Hector along with the dead bodies of his friends. Hector in the stretcher crying and bawling with his friends' bodies. Going back to the present future time, in 1984, 24th day of January at the Manhattan court is the hearing of Negron versus the state. Wilder, the counsel of defense of Negron, arrives. Murder and the said stolen head of the sculpture is the accusation made against Negron, but Wilder readily sets a $2 million bail for it. The judge cannot make any more say but to agree due to the threat made by Wilder. Negron curiously asks Wilder who she is, but she just says that she is a friend of a friend. Right then and there, Hector is freed. Boyle is still in the court trying to ask who is the sleeping man, but Negron ignores him. Negron, standing in the sand in front of a beach, approached by a mister, saying that his friend is waiting for Hector, but he is determined and sadly says that all of his true friends are dead. He just asks for a miracle to see his wife, but when he sees someone on the beach side he then walks along to it right away. A miracle is what he is requesting, yet there he sees the head sculpture of the Primavera, ranting his heart out that he is the only one